Hey guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com here with a review and install of the Borla Attack Axleback exhaust for the 2015 and up EcoBoost Mustang. We're going to be talking about a few different things with this exhaust today, but mainly we'll talk about the sound of the Axleback and the install. The install for this is easy. It's a 2 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter since there is some cutting involved, but I'll get more into that later. There's no doubt in my mind that the Borla Attack Axleback is going to be for the EcoBoost owners out there that are looking for a high quality system that's going to deliver a ton of sound. The Attack is by far the loudest and most aggressive muffler in the Borla lineup, which also includes the Touring and the S-Type. Borla says that Attack stands for Acoustically Tuned Applied Kinetics, which is basically Borla's fancy way of saying this muffler will be loud, but it's not going to get distorted or sloppy. So the main component of this system is really going to be the Attack mufflers, and those are the components that are really going to set this system apart from all of the other options that are out there. Borla designed this muffler to be very similar to a race muffler and has less sound absorbing materials than Borla's other options. The cores of the mufflers are custom tuned for the EcoBoost Mustang to give a very specific and aggressive sound. Borla says that it actually produces the highest available decibel level that is street legal. There isn't any drone with this system, which is actually a pretty awesome feature to have, being that the system is loud. There also isn't any of that high-end distortion that you normally hear with loud systems, which helps with the unattractive import sound that you can sometimes get with the EcoBoost. Even with that being said, I don't think it's going to be possible to get 100% away from that turbo 4-cylinder sound, since that is what the EcoBoost is. But there are certain exhaust systems that can give you more sound without sounding exactly like an import. The system does have some raspiness to it, and a crackle or gurgle on decel on occasion. If you compare the Attack system to the Touring and even the S-Type, in my opinion, this is more of a higher pitched tone. I would say that the Borla S-Type muffler produces a slightly deeper tone. Now with all that being said, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 on the loudness scale, with 1 being a very quiet system, and 5 being your neighbors are leaving notes on your car asking you to only start your car during waking hours. Keep in mind that if you ever change your headers or your mid-pipe down the road, this could open up even more noise for you. So if your biggest deciding factor when you're shopping for an Axleback is loud, I would say that the Attack from Borla is probably going to be a good choice here at AM. If you aren't looking for that loud of a system, then Borla does have the other options that I mentioned already. When it comes to materials, you're looking at 2 1/4 inch mandrel bent stainless steel tubing. Now we already talked about the mufflers a good bit, but the system does have 4-inch chrome stainless steel tips with the Borla logo embossed on them. As far as price, you can expect to pay between $700 and $800 for this Axleback. Like I mentioned earlier, this is one of the top of the line options as far as sound, materials, and fitment, so it is going to be on the more expensive side. Luckily, if this one's out of your budget, then there are a ton of Axleback options for the EcoBoost that you can check out. We're going to be looking at the typical cut and clamp design with the install for this Axleback, since you need to cut all S550 Axlebacks. I'm going to call this a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the scale, but just because the cutting that's involved. It's nothing difficult, but I just recommend some eye protection and a fresh blade to make the cutting easier. Overall, you're looking at about 2 hours to get this all done. Having a lift would make it easier for you here, but the job can be done on jack stands as well if you don't have access to one. Cutting the factory Axleback isn't hard. Just be sure to measure twice and plan a mark where you'll be cutting so you don't make a mistake. The new Axleback will come with new clamps for you, so you don't have to worry about that. When you go to install your new setup, it'll probably be easiest to leave everything loose until you have it all lined up and then tighten it down. Wrapping things up here with the Borla Attack Axleback, this is a loud system, the loudest from Borla, and it doesn't have any drone or any type of sound distortion, even in the higher RPMs. It's also a high quality system that's easy to install, and it finishes with 4-inch polished tips to give a nice look out back. And you can check it out more online right here at AmericanMuscle.com.